Hi everyone, I am Chengcheng from Snapchat. I'm very glad to have this opportunity to share about why, when, and how to leverage Snapchat to bring success to your brand and businesses. When you think about it, our relationships are built on moments captured in time. Some moments are big, graduations, weddings, new jobs, and growing families, but most are small. The morning dog walk, a small trip, or a movie night at home. Capturing and enhancing these moments, both big and small, are the reason people come to Snapchat, because they are the moments that define our relationships with our friends, family, and the world around us, our real relationships. In a world where so much of social media has devolved into passive, mindless scrolling, Snapchat stands out as an antidote to social media, where people can just communicate with friends and family without the pressure of appearing popular or perfect. It's where people connect with those who matter most to them and be in a place where they can freely share the biggest little, perfectly imperfect, everything and nothing moments with their closest circle of friends. In fact, the vast majority of people who spend time on Snapchat will tell you that staying connected with friends and family is their number one reason for using the platform. Whether they're connecting with their friends in the map or keeping the conversation going in chat, engaging with the world and their friends around them with camera, following their friends' content in stories, or exploring new content in Spotlight. They're entering a happy environment built on the relationships with their friends and family. That explains why our audience continues to grow, because the desire to stay connected to our closest friends and family isn't something that ebbs and flows with the latest trend, hype, or news cycle. It's a constant, because that's part of what makes us human. But most important to you all today, it helps explain why Snapchat is such a powerful platform for brands. Simply put, real relationships create a happy environment where brands have real influence. Let's break down why. For one, real relationships create an environment where people are more likely to share what's on their minds, what they are seeing in the world around them. And as we know, for brands, it matters when people are talking about you with their friends and family. As we've seen from recent studies, our friends are some of the most powerful influencers in our lives, and Snapchatters actively include their friends in their buying process and decision making, even when they're not together. What's more, Snapchatters are more likely to want to share with their friends what they've been out shopping for, which in turn helps grow of mouth value about the brand. But there's more to it than that. Because people build their Snapchat worlds around their closest friends and family, they feel happier on the platform. They are more likely to trust what they see, more likely to pay attention to what they see, and they are more likely to engage. And as it turns out, this mindset has a halo effect for brands. Over the past few months, our researchers have conducted an array of studies to better understand the connection between the happy mindset and the impact of advertising in this environment. What they've found is that an environment built on real friends makes people more likely to pay attention to your message, recall your message, and act on it in response. In recent months, we've learned that people on Snapchat simply pay more attention to the ads they see versus ads on other platforms. Global research in partnership with OMD proved that full screen vertical video ads get on Snapchat versus other similar formats, and in doing so, we uncovered something really quite interesting. Audiences pay twice as much active attention to full-screen vertical video ads on Snapchat compared to the benchmark across all the other social platforms. In fact, this attention paid is even slightly ahead of TV. But we knew there was more to the equation than just attention. So we decided to do some digging into the science behind this feeling of happiness and the connection to advertising. And what we have found was fascinating. We hired Neural Insight to apply a lab-based brain mapping method known as steady state topography, an industry-leading award-winning technology used to measure second-by-second brain activity. In this case, they looked at users interacting with content on Snapchat as well as on other apps, and also tested advertising experiences on these apps. Neural Insight also used a research technique called implicit association testing to measure the strength of unconscious connections between content on platform and the key emotions felt. This is a timed test that assesses the strength of unconscious linkages in consumers' minds. What they found is that environments based on interactions with close friends yield increases in all kinds of metrics that are relevant to advertisers. Increases in memory retention, engagement, and response. But you might be wondering, advertisers aren't the same as close friends. So, do the effects of being on a platform surrounded by close friends extend to advertisers? As it turns out, they do. We looked at how engagement changes on the platform, particularly within the Story tab, when Snapchatters view content from a close circle of friends versus content from a broad circle, including advertising. Our research showed that as Snapchatters moved from closed circle content to broad circle content, engagement stayed the same and even increased by 2%, whereas on other platforms, engagement declined by nearly 20%. And it's more than just engagement. The mindset also translates into higher levels of memory encoding. For example, people who see your ads on Snapchat are more likely to remember what they saw. They're also more likely to act on what they see. Snapchatters are 45% more likely to recommend brands and 34% more likely to purchase products advertised. With that, we began to see that real relationships really do matter for brands. On a platform like Snapchat, where people come to capture the moments that matter with their closest friends and family. Those relationships create an environment where brands like yourself can have a real influence. So now that we've talked about why brands advertise on Snapchat, let's talk about when. When is the right time to advertise on Snapchat? When your brand needs to connect to life's realest moments, because that's what's happening here. Our bread and butter are the everyday moments. As our community shares in that daily rhythm of connection, you too can bring joy to consumers in small but significant ways. Imagine the sound of a can of Coke opening, the crunch of a Lay's potato chip, or small delights that bring big satisfaction. Everyday moments that come to life in new ways on Snapchat. We've also seen brands find a lot of success with defining moments like launches. These campaigns define a brand's direction while bringing them closer to meeting consumer needs and wants. Think about a new flavor, a new phone, a new pair of sneakers get launched on Snapchat. And third, of course, are those tentpole moments that further build brand equity and brand love. Think about holiday, culture, commerce moments throughout the year. Imagine the 2024 Olympics, which is just around the corner, and celebrate on Snapchat. Just for more context here, the top 5 holidays celebrated on Snapchat are centered around family and friends. From sharing Halloween costumes with friends to Thanksgiving traditions with family. Snapchatters flock to the platform to share their magical holiday moments. Now that you've seen why real relationships mean real influence and when you should advertise on Snapchat, the next question is how? How do you make your moment breakthrough? It's pretty simple. With full screen formats and immersive AR. That's how Snapchat brings brands into life's realist moments. Years ago, Snapchat pioneered the full screen mobile ad. Today, our ad offerings takes on multiple formats and deliver on goals across the funnel. And they're always high quality and engaging, never intrusive. And immersive AR is that mind-blowing experience of turning yourself and the world around you into something else, something funny and inspiring and delightful. AR offers a totally leaned-in experience, letting your customer live your brand for real. So, let's tie this all together now. If you remember just one slide from today, then it should be the next one. Why Snapchat? Because real relationships create a happy environment where brands can have real influence. When Snapchat, when you need to connect to life's realist moments. How Snapchat? With full screen formats and immersive AR. And that's it. So here is to real. And let's get the conversation started. Thank you for listening today.